you to hear your heart, 'cause that's how you stay on par. Oh, yeah. No need to raise the bar when you're feeling low. Oh, you gotta breathe, 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 breathe. Let it go and let it be.
All you got to do is breathe. Everybody come on in. It is time for the Own Your Now show. It's Wellness Wednesday. I am your host, Tracy Berry McGee, also known as Divine T.
And I am your co-host, Yolanda Langford, and they still call me Lady Yo.
Lady Yo, Lady Yo, Lady Yo. It's Wellness Wednesday.
Yes.
How are you?
It is. I am fantastic. How well are you, Tracy?
I'm doing well. I am doing so well that my cup is overflowing. It's overflowing. It absolutely is.
So, if your cup is overflowing, that means we can sip off your saucer.
That's it. We sipping off the salsa today. That's what we doing, y'all. Everybody, tell a friend to tell a friend that we are here and we're sipping off the saucer. How are you? You sipping off the saucer?
I am with you, sipping off the saucer. Just had a fantastic week starting on Monday. The kids are back in school. So that means for me, my niece and my granddaughter are back in school. And it's kind of nice just to get back into that rhythm of things. How about you, Tracy?
Well, we've been empty nesting for a minute now, but I know that my grandson had a good first day of kindergarten, and he started telling, let me tell y'all a little something as we just tap in with everybody. You all start sharing because we have a really great show today. We have two doctors in the house talking about two different things that you all will need to know things about if you're a parent, if you have athletes in your home, and also if you are a woman. And you got women things that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about it. But my grandson came home. Now that the schools, they offer breakfast and stuff like that. And he told my daughter that he no longer wanted to eat cabinet food for breakfast.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you something. This is the boy who loves oatmeal, okay? He said he didn't want to eat cabinet food. I don't know where he done learned this from, first day of school. He says he want refrigerator food, like eggs and bacon and sausage, all of that kind of stuff. So I love the fact that being a grandmother, we get to learn a yaya and you
and a yo-yo.
We get to learn so much. So I'm like asking him how was his day, calling him. I'm just glad that they're not in nobody's in our house but us. How about you?
We are empty nesters again, so there's no one in the house but he and I, and but we still have to check in on everyone because we do have our niece that we raised, who is a sophomore. Gosh, did time fly? She's a sophomore in college, and then of course we have Veda, who's a third grader in elementary school. So it's still, we're empty nest adjacent.
Okay. That gives you time to be able to walk around the house with nobody. Just do whatever you want to do. Walk around the house naked if you want to, okay? It's your business and you can do that.
I won't say it, but yes,
you can because you're grown. It's wellness room time, wellness room shout outs. I feel like we're in the romper room. Who do we shout out today? Who do we see in the comments?
Well, let me tell you something. I see our niece, Bernice McGee. She's a new mommy. And I think her baby went to school for the first time to daycare. So, that's a little different for moms. You're home. Wow. Some people are home 6 weeks. Some are home months. But to take your baby to daycare for the first time, tell us, Niecy, tell us, Bernice, how did it go for his first day or two of daycare? Man, more than anything, Tracy, we should ask, how did you and hubby do?
How did they do? Let me just say, I wanted to know how she did too, because my daughter cried. She called me bawling. She's like, he's in safe hands. I just can't believe he's growing up so fast. I said, girl, he is gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right. But Bernice, I want to know how you doing too, because it's hard dropping your baby off to people. I see Montrese is in the house. Montrese has another event coming up called Focus. So y'all better follow Montrese because she has all the good stuff. Not only is she an author, she's a real estate agent. So hey, Montrese. Of course, Robert is always with us. Who else do you see, Lady O?
Hey, well, you know what? I see my Aunt Cynthia Boyd is in the house. Hey, Auntie from California. It's something when your family supports everything you do. She's there every single time on the YouTube side. So, I don't know if everyone knows we have our YouTube side and we have the Facebook side. So, some people say, girl, I'm not on Facebook. Go to YouTube and watch the
You can.
tell them. We also have Jane Bajol. She's here tonight saying, evening, ladies. Good evening, Jane. And of course, we have Joan Gray. She's here tonight joining us because we're going to talk to some great women and we're going to find out about some women business. And I men in the house, I need to know about women business too.
Yes. Look, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, because people go back and watch this at all times of day. So keep chatting with us as we chatted up with these wonderful women. But Lady O, we got to ask you, what's in your cup? Everybody else, what y'all sipping on today? What's in your cup?
Look here, I had to go and support the family business, honey. I got one of those backflips. There we go. Which
one is that? Which one is that one?
This is the Paloma, and it is agave and grapefruit and lime flavor. So it's it has a little fizz to it. So I like a little fizz because I like my champagne. But this is my drink of today, and also, of course, St. Louis H2O. Okay.
What a bag. All right.
Hey, what about you, Tracy? What are you sipping on? What's in your cup?
I am about to go to retreat tomorrow. I'll be heading to Savannah, and I'm taking care of myself because, I don't do work-life balance anymore. It's life work. So it has to make sense. So I am doing a little cab. I can't wait. You all, the doctor is in the house, and I need to ask her, like, how many glasses of wine can a woman over 50 drink? Because I could drink a glass of wine every single night like that. That would be my thing. I literally can, so. And if for anybody who says anything different, what do we tell them? Mind your business. Because this is my cup. This is what fills me up. Wait a minute.
I'm an adult.
I am an adult.
And I'm at home. Hey, Joan says she's drinking some iced tea. Now, the weather has kind of cooled off a little bit. So, I know I'm an iced tea drinker when it's really hot outside, but iced tea anytime is great. Enjoy your iced tea, Gigi.
I'm loving it. I actually love this weather right now. It just feels good. You get just enough sun and then it's just enough cool breeze. Robert's drinking on a cherry Coke, even though he's a Pepsi guy. We talked about, I remember my grandmother having that Pepsi up under her bed. You either in your house, you was either a Pepsi. She hid the Pepsi from everybody. But either you were Pepsi or a Coke house. Were you a Pepsi or a Coke house? You all were, right? What were you all?
I got to make you laugh. Truly, on the farm, we were double cola.
Double cola.
And it's like twice as much caffeine as Pepsi and Coke. So it was called double cola. And my dad would put peanuts in the actual bottle.
Oh, wow.
Anyone else know about the peanuts? You pour your peanuts or nuts in your actual Coke, and then it was like a treat at the end. Maybe I'm just country girl.
I bet your Auntie Cynthia might know about it. She might know about it. But what did it taste different?
It gave it a little salty flavor, and it was just something my dad did. And so, of course, as kids, we thought our dad was the greatest thing since sliced bread. So we did too. So yeah, people poured. Gigi said, Joan Gray said, yes, she knows about that. Cynthia says,
said yes. Look, Robert said he heard about the peanuts in the Coke bottle too. I'm familiar more with lemon and lime and everything because I'm that lime girl. So
and St. Louis did pickle everything. Pickle and peppermint, pickles with Kool-Aid, pickles with. When I came to St. Louis, I was like, what?
Yes, girl.
Y'all were pickled people.
Yeah, I got some pickles by that lady that was on our show. I can't think of her name right now. I have her pickles right now.
Was it Pearline?
Pearlie's pickles. you can get it at the gas station. Okay.
And
That's
that's
what it's
looks.
all about. Montree says that her grandma drank that RC cola in the tall, skinny. Look, we going back, y'all. Quit playing.
Wait, tell them our age, and we have a doctor on the house who's going to talk about us ladies of a certain age. Okay.
Yes. So let's jump right in, ladies and gentlemen. Please share and share some more. We're talking about Dr. Kelly Edwards. She's 35 years as a healthcare professional, 22 years as a women's health specialist with special interest in overcoming health disparities in the African American communities. She's a wife, she's a mother, she's a grandmother, and she's a good friend to anyone who reciprocates godlike friendship. Her hobbies are singing and dancing and fellowshipping over a glass of sunshine. I wonder what type of sunshine she's talking about. We go way back, y'all. Everybody say hey to Dr. Edwards, Kelly.
my glass of sunshine.
All right, we love it. So we have to ask you, what's in your cup?
Tequila and mango juice.
Yes! That's my kind of girl right there.
Right. I decided to add a little mango for you. Mostly I like it neat. I like tequila neat with the lime muddled with a little bit of ice.
Okay, I like that.
Water it down a little bit.
She said, I'm going to tell them they're going to say, what you drink? I'm going to say some sunshine.
Little glass of sunshine. I just love it. And I cannot believe that we have been neighbors forever. And I need to come over there and you sipping my favorite drink. My favorite is tequila.
The doors are open.
All right. Y'all heard that the doors are open. Lady O, a little fun fact. We talk about the kids. Our daughters met in was it first or second grade?
Like second or third grade.
Second or third grade. And they went all the way through high school together. They know the kids. St. Louis is a big, small town. So Art of the Head Wrap says, I will have what the doctor has in her cup. I know that's right.
I call it medicine.
Medicine.
Yes. My medicine.
It's right here.
As Michelle Obama said last night, my girl.
My girl. That's it. So, man, we didn't even talk about that. That last night was a whole vibe. But we want to talk to you, Kelly, because we specifically, let me tell you something. Lady Yo has been saying over and over again, when would the doctor be in the house? We have things to talk about because we are really trying to figure all of these things out. And there's no real true books about topics such as menopause and all of those type of things. So let's talk about, what do you want to talk about first, Lady O?
Let's jump right in. First of all, let's just say, when you think of menopause, think of it as a renaissance, because from the top of your head to the inside of your soul, to the way you think, to the things that motivates your actions, it all has to be changed. So menopause, from the medical standpoint, the definition is when your menses or your period has stopped for at least 1 year. Perimenopause is everything leading up to that. And perimenopause can go on for about 10 years. So the average age of menopause is anywhere between 48, 49 to about 55, plus or minus some years. So until your period stopped completely for 1 year, we call it perimenopause. And then after it's been a whole year that the menses has paused, we call you postmenopause or menopausal. And it's a whole lot of stuff that happens in there. Like I said, from the way that you think, the way that you feel, your emotions, you're almost going to be forced to kind of rebuild and reacclimate some things to the new you. The symptoms can range from it varies from person to person. Unfortunately, Tracy, the cup of wine that you have every day, it can make you have more hot flashes.
I know.
Wine makes you have more hot flashes. Stress can make you have more hot flashes. Not getting enough sleep can make you have more hot flashes. Being anxious, having depression, unfortunately, having a terrible diet, being overweight, having diabetes, a lot of different things can make you have more hot flashes. So
Dr. Kelly, you say hot flashes. Now, girl, I can show you what they look like. Believe me, because my kids always say, "Mama, you look like melted chocolate." But What causes hot flashes? Is it hormones? Is it what causes them?
So, a lack of estrogen, when your estrogen levels start to decline, there is a center in your brain, in the hypothalamus, that the center becomes dysregulated. So, it's a dysregulated temperature control center that happens because of a loss of estrogen. Now, some people naturally still create a lot of their own estrogen. You can have estrogen coming from your adrenal glands, it can come from your fat cells, and every woman is different. Some people don't have a lot of hot flashes. Some people go bat, SHIT, crazy. They
Yes.
have a lot of emotional disruptions. Sometimes it's really behavioral, like they go into like deep depressive states. So it's different for every woman. Some people have the night sweats, and then
I
they
want,
don't
I want,
have
I
flushes in
want
the
to stop
daytime.
you because Robert said, I'll sit this one out. Robert, I don't want you to sit this one out. I want you to share with some other men because men need to know what our women, what we're going through, so that you all can be able to be better equipped.
So
So
let me
any of
say
you
something to Robert that
all
might be
share.
helpful. Let me say something to Robert. So, Robert, unfortunately, your woman, if she's in this time of her life, having intimacy with you is really the last thing that she can think of that's important. It's not that she can't still enjoy it with you. It's just that it, because of the hormones, it doesn't hit her the same way. She has to have a lot of motivation. I always say the car gets a little bit older. You can't just stick the key in the ignition, hit gas, and think you're gonna have the best performance. So you want to warm that thing up. You know,
All
if you
right.
want to have the best performance, she will perform for you just like she's always done, but she just needs a little encouragement to get back, to get the juices flowing, if you will. So needs the
All right.
context will change. So she is still there for you. She still loves you. She still desires you, but you might have to do a little bit of work to get her mind back on business.
Yes.
Business,
That's
business.
it. That's it.
Yes, and you know that. And speaking of men, I've had a friend of mine. We were conversing. He's like, "I love my wife, and it doesn't seem like she wants me." I said, "Hold up, brother. Is
Right.
she in menopause?" He said,
Right.
"Oh." He called me back. He said, "She is." I said, "Pump your brakes." And you, like Dr. Edwards said, you got
Off
to do
the
a little bit
brakes.
more. You got to get, but you
Do some
know,
things.
men,
Do some things to that engine.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I say men go through menopause too.
They do. They go to menopause.
They do.
So
Okay, wait a
again,
minute, one second.
go ahead.
Montrese says, so how do you know if you are in menopause if you had a hysterectomy like 10 years ago?
Mm.
I still have an ovary, but I haven't noticed any changes because everybody don't experience. Cynthia says she doesn't have hot flashes.
So we can start with a blood test first. So we can start with the blood test. The blood test will let us know how much estrogen you are producing. So if you are in like technical chemical menopause, but you're not noticing any symptoms, praise you the Lord. So because not everyone experiences it the same way.
Right.
Some people just don't notice a lot of symptoms.
Got it. Got it. I hope you all are sharing because I'm
Mhm.
learning things. But lady, you definitely jump right in. My other question was this is what I want to know. Number one, I know a lot of this has to do with DNA, but also how long does this last? Like, does it ever end? Where you like, okay, I'm feeling
It gets better.
normal?
It
Okay.
gets better, and it depends on the woman. Some women still have such vibrant estrogen stores where it goes up and down. So some people can have hot flashes until their 70s and 80s, but it's so much better. It just gradually gets better over time. And if you ever go on hormone replacement because life is just unbearable with the hot flashes, the night sweats, the daytime sweating, the moodiness, when you go on hormone replacement therapy, whether it's a synthetic, compounded, it doesn't matter. When you go off, you're going to have to retransition again. So as soon as you go off those synthetic hormones, you're going to have to go back through the menopausal symptoms again. But they should be less if you're a little bit older.
Wow. Did you know that, yo?
I did know that. I've been doing my research. My mother never went through any of the symptoms that I've experienced, and like my aunt said, she did not experience. But I will say, I will be 58 years old, and everyone who knows me, when I'm getting ready to walk out the house, everyone says, do you have your fans? It's not, do you have your purse? It's not, do you have your money? Do you have your fans? And I say plural.
Yes.
I designed a closet and it has a bank of just plugs for my fans.
That's important. That's important. My mom never experienced that either.
Because it helps me. And currently right now I have a fan blowing to my left. And I tell people, don't be embarrassed. And I think that's part of the issue, if you will chime in, Dr. Edwards, is as women, we're embarrassed to say, because back in the day, they'll say, girl, she no more good. She in the minimum.
Right. She going through the change.
And that is not true. We're still viable, full women. We're just, our bodies are changing. Now, I always tell people, change ain't always for the bad. Change can be for the good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. More like a fine wine or a ripened berry that just needs to be plucked just the right kind of way. So I normalize it. If I'm in the room with the patient and I'm getting ready to have a hot flash, I just say, whoo, I'm about to have a hot flash. And it's something that I welcome. I'm glad to be at an age where I can experience this part of my life. You know, a lot of wisdom can come from us ladies, us mature ladies. So making it like it's something bad or being shameful about it, it's a normal process of life, just like when a young woman is getting ready to go through puberty, we have to normalize it, embrace it, and, treat it like it's something that is not shameful.
Rite of passage.
Speaking of young women, I've had so many young women that have come into my office as a therapist and talk about having such a great experience when they met you, coming into your office. What is the age, or when should you transition? Because we're talking about annual visits, y'all. Put annual visits in the chat. Yes. When should they transition from that pediatrician to OB/GYN?
So I have a lot of families. I've touched like thousands and thousands of lives, and I have a lot of family units. So if you have a young lady who is, a little bit more advanced, a little bit more, she's a little, hot in the pants, so 14, 15, that's probably a good age to come to see me. And it's not about doing a pap smear, because you don't need a pap smear until you're 21. But sometimes people don't have the platform to talk about their sexuality. Do I like boys? Do I like girls? Well, what happens if you're a girl who likes other girls? There's a lot of different emotions that goes on with that. How to navigate talking to the parents. So I have a lot of young ladies, and I think around 14, 15, I will have them at that age. I absolutely want to see them before they go off to college, because we want to have some conversations about, how to, stay in the best lane for your success. So I really like to get them like right before college. And then they have my cell phone number. You can always call me, send me a message, because sometimes it's delicate information. And sometimes ladies just need to have someone that they can talk to. I got a bump. I don't know if this is normal. They're not shameful to even take a picture of things and send it to me through their My Chat, on their Epic. So around 14, it can start, and we're not getting naked and stuff like that unless I absolutely need to see something. But I really like to see them like right before they go off to college, or anytime their pediatrician doesn't feel comfortable talking about birth control.
Yes, Dr. Edwards, I just threw my hands up because Cynthia says she's 70 and still in the mix. Okay.
What? And some of my older ladies that are 70s and 80s, when I see them, I say, do you need to be checked for any sexually transmitted infection? And they're like, yes, you can get stuff too. So it's, sexuality does not stop just because you get older. It can be it just gets different. The context of intimacy changes for women. Our mind cannot be on bills and stress, or it can't be on that, or we're not going to be on the context is going to be off for intimacy. So we need our male partners to set the stage so we can get our minds back on bedroom business. Because if our mind is on something else, then also, ladies, the
It ain't
things you
happening.
used to like might not feel the same.
Yes.
Certain touch can feel like he's working in the garden, and so sometimes we
This
just
is a
have
good
to
conversation.
redirect. There's certain, how you like to be touched might be different. What feels better to you at this stage is communication.
Yes.
Communication,
Ooh, sounds like
communication.
we need to have a retreat, Tracy.
Communication. I know we do, and we will.
Yeah.
Order the head wrap says, I agree with Dr. Kelly. Normalizing this conversation and practicing can help so much. When Order the Head Wrap comes in to talk to our girls about HIV awareness and different things, she also talks to them about the fact that they should also talk to their parents about making sure they get tested, and grandparents. So I like that you said, like, at a certain age it don't stop, because my mom, she said it just kept going. She said it got better with time, like you said, like wine. I know we can talk forever. We got to jump in with the mammograms. Y'all know we got to take care of the
Okay.
system.
Yes, I have a lot of important things to say about mammograms.
Yes,
Mammograms for
please
us
do.
should be at age 40, every year at 40. There's new information about your breast density. Please pay attention to your mammogram report. If your breast mammogram report says you have heterogeneously dense breast or very dense breast, you should talk to your healthcare provider about getting supplemental screening with the MRI. The reason being is a regular MRI is more likely to miss a small cancer if you have dense or heterogeneously dense breast. So what the new recommendations are, especially for brown women, is that you're alternating mammogram, supplemental. Supplemental is a MRI or a special type of mammogram. So really you'll be getting your breast screened every 6 months, because we already know if you have very dense breasts, the mammogram is more likely to miss it. Now, they've been putting that on mammogram reports for the last 8 years, but in the last 3 or 4 years, your reports have become transparent. So you can actually read them yourself. Before, they would just say it's normal. But there's another step that every woman, especially women of color, that you really want to know what type of breast you are and be offered the right screening. Unfortunately, since January, I've diagnosed 4 women with early breast cancer. One lady was, European descent. The other 3 were brown women. That if I had not ordered the MRI, that it would have gone undetected on the regular mammogram. So that's something to talk to your healthcare providers. So every year, breast screening, but you might need more pictures depending on the density of your breast.
Wow, man,
Thank you.
I thank you for that. As she sips her sunrise, right? As she sips her
And
sunrise.
then I smile too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Drop the knowledge and let them know. I want everybody to know it's hard to find these resources. And oftentimes, your insurance doesn't tell you, like, this is an African American provider, and there's certain things that are different when it comes to us. So your preference probably would be to have an African American provider. How can they find you? What does that look like? And we do have Dr. Jana Haywood coming up, but how can they find you?
So I am taking new patients. It's really kind of hard to get into me. You have to have patience. But I'm at West End OBGYN BJC Medical Group. I'm on 1110 Highlands Plaza. My telephone number at work is 314-286-2620. Don't be discouraged. They'll say, oh, Kelly doesn't have anything to 2025. That's true. Like for most things that are not urgent. But if you have something urgent that you want to talk to me about, call again and say, would you mind have her call me? I'm a sucker for us, in a good way. If I really feel like that I need to see you, I can get you on like this. It's just that my schedule is really controlled so that I can have a manageable work day. So just, you can reach me at BJC Medical Group, West End OBGYN.
Thank you so much. You were so informative. Like I said, Tracy, we sound like we need to have a retreat, have her come in and talk all things A to Z, because our bodies are something to
Mhm.
behold, and we should know and be knowledgeable about how to have
Sure.
the best
Mhm.
health with our bodies, and be in touch, and not be afraid of our bodies, and
Mhm.
No,
love our
no,
bodies.
And know
right,
when, and you also want to know when we get in our 50s, we really have to know when should we be concerned.
Yeah.
right.
And if you go to a provider and you have a concern and they say, "Oh, it's nothing," and you're still having symptoms, always go back, because if you go back with the same complaint, just from the standpoint of maybe being slightly annoyed, maybe some people get annoyed, but it makes people take a break and do a second look, to
I
look
like
at it
that.
at a different perspective.
Ooh,
So knowing when to seek help, help for yourself when you get in the menopausal age. Some of this stuff is not age related. Any abnormal bleeding, if your periods are skipping, that's okay. But if you're bleeding like asynchronous and you're spotting all the time, that is not normal. If you're
Correct.
having spotting during intimacy, that is not normal. If you lose more than 10 pounds unintended, that is a red flag. So there's a
Yes.
lot of red flags that you have to be mindful as we get older. We don't want to just call it, because you're getting older, because we do diagnose a lot of people with uterine cancer. That is
Mhm.
huge in the African American community.
Yes.
And unfortunately, it's tied to obesity.
mm-hmm.
Menopause and obesity is a bad mix for a lot of different reasons. But
Wow.
uterine cancer is really big, and it goes kind of missed a little bit if you don't report it to your provider.
I love all of this. I do have one more question. I felt
Hmm.
like I had two. See, I'm experiencing some memory fog. That's been happening for a minute. Oh, some of my friends that have had hysterectomies feel like they don't need to go back to the doctor. I'm like, you still need to go.
Yes, because nobody else is looking down there. Farrah Fawcett died of rectal cancer. I don't know if Farrah Fawcett was going to her doctor. You should have bimanual exams where we go into the vaginal canal and feel on your lower abdomen. You can get skin cancer of
You still
your
got
vulva.
colon, all these different
Hold
things.
on, hold on. She said you can get skin cancer of your vulva.
Yes, and what it looks like is a discoloration.
Wow.
Mm,
And it's the same virus that causes cervical cancer. It can cause skin cancer of your vulva. So
Mm.
nobody else is going to look down there except us. So no less than every other year for a person that's had. I see people every year because I find stuff on people that has nothing to do with their butt and their booty. I go from the top to the bottom. I'm in all your
listen,
business.
Rooter to the tutor.
Yes,
Rhoda.
I'm into your blood pressure, your diabetes, your
Woo.
weight, your
Okay.
colon. So I check it all.
Okay.
Okay, we got to ask you a wellness word for the day. And my look, I got all these questions. So is tequila better than wine, or can I do both, or what? Because
Tequila is if a good quality tequila. I call it medicine because it doesn't affect the blood sugar as much.
okay, okay,
Oh.
But it still will make me have hot flashes,
okay,
if I
okay.
am not
Turn your
careful.
fan on, Tracy, and drink your
Okay,
wine or
turn
your
it on and
tequila.
Yes,
drink it. Look,
yes,
I'm gonna do it.
yes.
We're gonna all do it together. When we have the wellness retreat, y'all, we're gonna have wine and
You
tequila.
just let me know. We're gonna
That's
bring
right.
all of our beverages, our medicines, and have
Yes.
more time to talk.
Yeah.
Um, so my affirmation word of the month is grace giving. Just because I feel like in order to be in this existence, this human existence, we have to give a lot of grace, extend grace so that grace can be returned to us. So um, I have to always try to operate in grace, especially dealing with difficult people.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
We know so much
Mhm.
about that. We do. We
Yes.
do. Yeah, you're gonna have to come back on, and we're gonna have some young ladies that answer some questions, because I've had young ladies to ask me some things, and I'm like, you really need to go talk to Dr. Edwards. So
Right.
thank you
Thank
You're
so
you.
welcome.
much.
You're
We can't wait
welcome.
to have you on again.
All
All
right.
right.
Yes.
All right, y'all can ask her questions in the chat. She'll probably be in the chat as well. Any questions you all have, she'll come back and answer those. But y'all know we got two doctors in the house. And if you got girls, then you want to know about this. Probably if you got boys, if you got athletes, you need to know about this. As a woman, you need to know. Who do we have coming up next, Lady O?
We have Dr. Jana Hayward. Jana co-founded Illumin Solutions Group, a coaching and consulting company with her husband to ignite, inspire, and empower people as they pursue their personal goals. She has a new book out and she's going to tell us all about it. This can kind of be an exclusive because I saw it, then I tracked down her publisher and all that good stuff. Hey, Dr. Janet Hayward.
Good evening, ladies.
Good evening. How are you? Oh my gosh, she said she tracked down Jolena. Okay, so that's pretty hard. But we wanted to tell you thank you for coming on before we get started because we got so much to talk about. What is in your cup? What you sipping on?
Well, I have a little lemonade in my Jana glass here because Jana means God is gracious. But this is a little jug juice lemonade because I'm from Walnut Park. That's where I spent my childhood. And so it could have been some Simply or some Minute Maid, but it's just jug juice because that's going to expand enough for everybody in the family to have some.
A little jug juice. All right. That's almost like that Kool-Aid, the big old thing. We just put it all in there. She said Walnut Park.
Jungle juice.
All right. What y'all know about Walnut Park, everybody? Look, since she said that, everybody just put your community, where you grow up. Where did you grow up? Where did you grow up? Because I was one of those babies that grew up all over. But at one point of our life, we did live on Emerson and Berkshire and Walnut Park. So don't play.
4929 North Union is where I reign from.
But guess what? You all don't see this in the chat. We see this in the private chat. Dr. Kelly Edwards says that she's from Walnut Park. I know, isn't that crazy? God don't play. Synergy. All right. Well, let's jump in. Everybody's rapping they set. You sitting in the house, everybody's rapping they set. Let's talk to us. You literally tell us your personal background and why did you say yes to sports and women in sports?
Absolutely. So I have to say, I'm so excited to be on this show. I've been an admirer for so long, and it just blesses me to be able to share my story on this platform and hopefully be able to talk to some young women and some guys about why sports are important and kind of the time that we're in. And so at 12 years old, I discovered that I had a special gift around athleticism. And so I was a basketball player as well as a track and field athlete. And throughout high school, celebrated in a lot of ways. Went on to play at St. Louis University, played a little while overseas, and now I'm raising some beautiful children. I have 3 children. And this book came to be because I said, I've learned a lot through watching my mom, now my own personal experience, and now ushering or kind of shepherding my daughter. And I wanted to be able to create something that would be a playbook for other parents and individuals transitioning into the workforce that talks about moving without the ball. And so that is a phrase that we say a lot in basketball. Like, you're not going to get the ball if you don't move without the ball. And so there are some gems inside of this particular text that can help them.
Yes. So did you took your own experiences and then you pulled it together with your husband to create almost like a playbook. In sports, you got the playbook. This is the play we're going to do. This is a playbook kind of for parents.
It is. So my husband is a national champion himself in track and field at Lindenwood University. And so he gets it, how sports really kind of translate into life. And one of the things that you always are learning anytime you're on a sports team is how you're going to apply that into a space beyond the court or the competition field. And so he's always been a great supporter and advocate for families. He was athletic director, and I'm an educator myself. So I was a teacher, athletic director, administrator, and currently work as a chief human resource officer. And so I consider myself to be a talent scout. And I said, well, if you're watching and observing talent, what is it that you want to tell them that you're looking for? So how can you help to equip them to be better prepared, whether it's in sports, which is part of the title, or in life? And so we took all these things that we're so passionate about and kind of put it into this one document to help assist people to move a little faster than what we've been able to move. And that's move without the ball.
I have a question, and because I've been involved in sports one way or another, the recruitment process.
Yeah.
It can
Ooh.
make or break your
It
athlete.
really can.
And
It
if
can.
you don't know, you don't know. And for a lot of women, we don't know how many times you can visit a school. What can you accept? And the game has changed since they're doing is it NIAs?
NILs, you get that money
NILs.
now as you're getting recruited.
Yes.
Like, yes, that cash.
So back in the day, you couldn't accept a dime from
No.
anyone for any reason because it could come back on you. I mean, I think someone got their Heisman taken away because
Right.
they found out they got something from a booster. Talk to us about that recruitment process.
Okay, so the recruitment process starts long before I think anyone even understands. And so one of the things we emphasize in our conversations with families is that not only is your student athlete being recruited, but your family is being recruited. So
I
when
agree.
you are in the stands, no, they already know if your child can make the basket or score the touchdown. They want to see, is this going to be a family that I want to deal with after the game? Do I want to talk to them, in between times? And so our behavior really matters. And sometimes you can be opening or closing the door for your child. I think it's really important to understand your social media presence. And because once you put something out there, it is always there. You can't reel it back. It's now and for forever. But in terms of like NIL, understanding that you can't receive these expensive gifts before you actually sign your contract. But once you do, and I'm excited about it because I have a incoming freshman who she's ranked pretty high in her class.
All right.
I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there. Once you do, you can start receiving those funds for endorsement around your name, image, or likeness. And so this is very different than what has been in the past.
So
I love that. I love that. So,
go ahead,
I'm
Tracy.
sorry. No, I was going to say, so you actually offer virtual workshops. You have the individual coaching. You and your husband. Tell us about those type of things.
Yeah, so every single month we have the opportunity for 2 workshops where the first is just an initial high-level K-12 experience because I'm a K-12 educator. So you have to start there because you can have that dream, but if you can't actualize it because you have failed to have the academics, you failed to do the athletic, training that's required for your child to be competitive and someone that a Don Staley might want to come and watch, on the sidelines. And then the social political aspect, because being good is not good enough. You also have a lot of things that you're competing with that you don't even see, whether it be the booster club. So maybe somebody made a really huge contribution and you can't understand, why isn't my daughter getting that look or my son getting that look? Well, it might be because a booster made a donation to make sure that their child gets that. So how can you create an even playing field for yourself? And those are some of the things that we really focus on in those workshops.
Hit that share button.
You hear in the professional field, you have to have an agent or a manager. At the age we're talking, do the kids need agents, managers? Because a lot of parents can't navigate that. What is the rule with that these days?
Right. So that's one of the reasons that we kind of created a Lumen Solutions Group, because it's very expensive to have someone represent you. And so we want to at least provide that baseline understanding. I would say by the time someone is actually signing their national letter of intent to receive a scholarship from a university, you probably should have spoken to some kind of attorney just to make sure that it's in alignment with what you believe you are signing. But if you can't afford that, again, we're available to help at least scan it and make sure that the generalities, having lived through it myself. So I was a collegiate athlete. I'm actually, like I said, shepherding my daughter. So I'm spending lots of time on the NCAA website, and families can do that for themselves as well. It's updated regularly to let you know what eligibility actually means, what the cans and the cannots are. But you don't have to have an agent going into the collegiate level. You definitely, by the time you're graduating and looking to go professional, should have one.
I love that you are spotlighting this because, my son was a student athlete. He played, he went to Chaminade, and I remember us finding out about the importance of having the right GPA. Like, they were really having scholar athletes, but also when you did go to a school and you didn't get as much play, either you were D1 or D2, and then you would be able to go into a transfer portal. And I remember my husband saying they didn't have that opportunity back in the day. So keeping your highlights, is it important that parents get all the video coverage or hire someone? Because, they go all out.
Oh,
It sounds like politics, don't it? Sounds like politics.
It does. In today's world, it's so easy to do a share and to record and to be able to market yourself. So I would never tell anyone not to advocate for themselves. Always, I would say keep those highlights because you don't know. The coaches change universities as much as you might change your decision to be underneath that coach. So I think in terms of mutual respect and just opportunity for oneself, it's a personal responsibility to keep yourself at play. And that's another part of moving without the ball. So you are working to be committed to the university that you sign with, but you also got to be committed to yourself, right? If it's not a good fit, you get one life. And so I can tell you from personal experience, I enjoy being a St. Louis University Billiken, but there were some times where I thought, is this the right fit for me? Should I go somewhere else? And the rules were very different. The college coaches could move, but the student athletes could not. And that's not the case today. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
So when we're talking athletes, a lot of times people just assume it's a male athlete.
Right.
Talk to us about how we should be nurturing and shepherding our girl athletes.
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
That part right there, right? So the book was written because of that part. I remember living through a time where we were very much in the shadows, but I don't know. Have you heard of Angel Reese or Aja Wilson or Caitlin Clark and so many others that we can all just rattle off with no hesitancy? And so the game for women's sports, whether it be soccer, basketball, swimming, just gymnastics. I mean, like I didn't even say the Gabbies and the Simones of the world or track and field. I can go on and on. And so we are here, we're showing up, and not to introduce politics, but have you heard of Kamala Harris? I'm just like, women are just doing it, right?
We are joy. All right, everybody, tell everybody, go sit down. Go sit down. Okay. All right.
Let's do what we do. Let's nurture the world. And so I am excited to be alive at a time such as this because just watching it all unfold and then being able to assist others along the way is just a joy. So thank you again for letting me share my story and being able to just share a couple tidbits that I believe, not just believe, that I know will help some families and some student athletes.
It's absolutely, you're absolutely a gem because we study a lot of things, but this is not a lane that we are taught to study, especially as women.
That's it.
And when our children are coming up, we may not know the exact things that are best. We think the best thing we can do for them is cheer. There's so much more.
No, it's so much more. I like to do your research. Like go out there on those websites and look those things up. Because when the coaches are coming to you, you got to interview them as well. Look, y'all need to just hire her so that she can do the thing and get the book. We can't wait. We got plans for you already. We already know. Know. Tell everybody how they can find you. What is your website?
Certainly. So our website is Illumin Solutions Group, but you can certainly look me up on LinkedIn, Jana Haywood. That's probably the easiest way, JanaHaywood. And I respond to every single inquiry. Would love to share more with you about not only how to make plays, on the court, but also in life, because everything we do in terms of athletics really does translate to life success. Yes. And so I want to share that with you as well.
We love it. Please share with us your wellness word for today, and everybody else start dropping your wellness words in the chat.
Okay, well, I'm a teacher and teachers don't follow directions well. I'm going to tell you that ahead of time. So I don't know if you can see this, but my words are love and leadership. I'm wearing it because as we start the year, you have to have your love and you have to have your leadership to make sure you know where you're headed. So I'm looking forward to a wonderful school year, specifically another plug in the Ferguson, Florissant School District, but also across this great region of St. Louis.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to take this opportunity to say to you, thank you for everything you do as a teacher. You all are so special. We could not live in this world without teachers. I reflect on the teachers that made me who I am today. They are everyday part of my life. Some are deceased, some are still living, and I'm still in touch. If they're deceased, I'm in touch with their families, and I just keep telling them, hey, this is what your dad did for me, or this is what your mom did for me. And teachers are so very special. And know that in 20 years, there's going to be someone like me that's going to say, do you remember Miss Jana? Do you remember Miss Jana?
No,
This is what she
Jana.
did for me. So
Dr. Jana.
you know, I know it's day to day. It's like you're working and working and working, but darling, you are receiving your flowers now because you are giving flowers. But more than anything, you're teaching our children. I just want to take the moment to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Well, thank you. And look, ladies, let's move. Let's move. All this.
Yes.
Got things to do. Everybody start dropping your affirmation words in the of the week in the chat. We want to know your affirmation word. I was talking to an educator last night. I called her just, this is the first week of school. And we live in a big small town. So every time something happened, we in the news. But she said, I'm still at school. She said she was still at school. She said, I may not leave to 10 o'clock because there's so much that I got to get done this week. I said, you better leave right now. I said, you need balance. She said, I'm balancing it out. She said, while I'm here at school, I'm watching the DNC convention. So I was like, she was like, it's roll call, baby. I was like, yeah.
That was so awesome. That was so awesome.
Yes.
What's not, everybody's dropping their affirmation words in the chat. I want to bring Dr. Kelly Edwards back up, y'all, because we have had a great night. Many of you all will share some more, and then some people will watch this later. But this is what wellness and opportunity, knowledge and empowerment is all about. This is why we're here on Wellness Wednesdays. We can talk as long as we want to, and we're going to continue to do those things. Lady O, I know some people are dropping their affirmation words in the chat. Now, what is your affirmation word?
You know what? My affirmation word is growth. And hold on, let me back that up. It's growth, but I'm stretch. And I say stretch when more than growth, I'm stretching beyond my comfort zone.
Woo! Okay. Come on, bring it in.
Because we get so comfortable in what we do and how we present it, but I am actually stretching beyond my comfort zone. I'm entering into atmospheres that don't necessarily have people who look like me, don't necessarily have people that I feel like, oh, this is what I wanted to do, but I'm gonna stretch beyond that to see what else is out there for me. I'm not limiting myself. So stretch is my word. I'm stretching beyond my comfort zone.
That's it. You know what? I love that you talk about stretching. One of the things, I literally have the tattoo on my arm as a reminder. Whenever I go speak in schools or school districts all over the country, when I first started, I was like asking God, like, will these girls receive me? Because I'm used to talking to my babies, but will these other girls receive me? And at the core, we're all girls. At the core, we really are. We do all bleed red, and we all go through some of the same issues. But my reminder was Psalms 139:14, that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay. And so as a result of that, you can do the stretching because God is going to give you all of the tools that you need. So as we wrap up and everybody's dropping their affirmation words, we want you all to understand that there are times that you may not feel like you have it all together, but you also have to have a little grace giving for yourself as well. Because when you do that, then you understand the value of what love looks like. We tell everybody to listen, observe, validate, and empower, and live in leadership. And when we are able to do that, then we are able to see all of the beautiful pieces of what it looks like for us to be amazing. Because we are an amazing people, but you got to have the knowledge. Y'all need to understand that there's no way that we can move forward if we don't have the knowledge. But if we have the knowledge, then miracles will happen, and we will be able to move forward with all of our people striving and thriving together, so we can see what growth looks like. So continue to stretch and understand that we are all about joy, whether that be the girl or the boy. All right. That's what that's all about. Lady O, we have had a great show today. I'm excited about going to Savannah tomorrow, and
safe travels, Tracy.
Yes, be safe.
Yes, I will be back, but y'all better take care of yourselves. We always talk about wellness, opportunity, knowledge, and empowerment, and how important it is for us to balance our lives. You see, Dr. Jana is doing the work with her hubby. Okay. I always see Kelly and her hubby out. I always see you and Ozzy out. Y'all see me and Nate out. We doing what we do because we're seeing the value of balancing our lives. And this is what we will continue to do. That's what we're going to continue to do. So, Lady O, let's let them know where we want
Peace,
them to go.
love, and positivity. I send it your way.
Remember, y'all, tomorrow isn't promised. So
own your
now.
I am unstoppable.